I'll begin recording this beautiful lesson of where I'm revisiting a class that I taught in stepping into the 21st century. And at the time, I had said that we are in a playful expansion over 6.7 billion people on the planet. And 9/11 has killed many people, number of people that were killed in all the wars, 250,000, the number of people killed without war is like 500,000 people. So at the time, on the threshold of moving into the 21st century, I said that we were on the edge of a curve. And this curve was a beginning where everybody has a computer, a cell phone. And this was a women's retreat that I had led. And I said that in this women's retreat that we're here today honoring women and our own inner health. And it's kind of the same. I wanted to pull this class up because I wanted to express that this is a very deep time for whoever you are in the world, whatever country you live in. So this is a time where our inner landscape and our inner topography is the one that really, truly matters, because it's what's going to set the tone for everything else that comes in our lives. So as I share, and many of you who do know me always say, and we do know this in the personal development field, the yoga field, whatever you want to say it, is that we can't control anything, right? We're just part of the wave of the world. And wherever we are in that wave, that's where we're at. We have to find ways in which we can recalibrate ourselves to feel in sync with what's happening. Not to say that we like it, not to say that we agree with it, but a way in which we can survive and thrive and evolve through this opportunity, looking at this obviously as an opportunity. And I don't know the Chinese character, but there is a character that stands for opportunity and danger. And I think we can look at this Corona time, because we're contextualizing that, as this is one of those times. It's Corona time. It's a time where we are absolutely being called upon to do something in a way that we've never done, or to evolve and to shift and to change. So our inner landscape is so very, very, very important to our thriving and being fully who we are. If we recall, in 2009, the real estate markets hit bottom and the economy went bust, which is kind of really what people are fearing now. And there was so much awakening, but yet so much suffering that was occurring at the time. But when we hit rock bottom, no matter if a person's a drug addict, no matter if they're in a relationship that fails, when you hit rock bottom, there's a great shift that occurs. So in that great shift is what this is the invitation for in today. So the people who you would never think that actually feel like, well, I'm really going to connect to my own internal self, my own internal spirit. Well, at that time they did. And again, we're being invited to do so once again. On the beginning of the 2000s, money was religion for some people. And again, now it's 2020. I believe that also has money was a religion for people. And it's what we bind ourselves to. And people were just looking at everything related back to money, 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 money. And even as a teacher, when you're in school and you're teaching subject matter, or the different subject matters in school, the subjects are never about yourself. They're about studying about math, science, English. Yes, it all relates to us on some level, but we don't spend time with who we are. And that's this inner landscape that I'm referring to, this inner topography, the landscape of your heart. What does it feel like? The landscape of your mind, what's that? And what's the landscape of this fertility, of this fertile ground that you sit upon in the earth? So this is a decade from 2000 to 2020, I would say. It was a decade that people think that our practice will be finished. We're going to somehow be done with it. We're just going to kind of ride the wave and be like, everything's going to be amazing. But it's now time for us to actually do the work. And that means when we all make a positive step, it lifts up the whole. Now, today I even saw a video someone sent to me about people took old photographs of their family, like when they were little. And like the father was like young, he was probably like 27, the baby was like 2. And then they took the same configuration of this particular family and they made them again look in the same way. So we're going back to redo an old picture. So if you can go back and redo your life and be like, okay, well, how can I really expand now into this new chapter of 2020 Corona time? What can I do to expand as a better person, as a more evolved person, so that I can feel rooted into the foundation in this technological world? So much expansion. If we didn't have technology, I couldn't be coming to you now. You wouldn't be having Zoom Easters and Zoom graduations and Zoom Mother's Day and Zoom yoga classes and Zoom meditation and Zoom lift the spirit up, lift the world up. We wouldn't be having all that. So everything is really basically about all vibration. I wanted to share that one of my most inspiring people in my life has been Lilius. And Lilius was this woman who, when I was homesick, would do Lilius yoga and you. And she would actually do yoga on television. But it wasn't a big thing. It was just like she was the only one that was doing these really cool moves that I kind of really actually related to. So she really inspired me, but it began through television to infiltrate society at the time. And 5 years before Lilius was on TV, the civil rights came to be, and it lifted and expanded the sites for the international citizens that only allowed 200 people a year to come into our country from 1924 to 1964. In the mid-60s, this energy was about lifting veils to awaken people. So remember, we had Vietnam. These were times where like rebellion was happening. But now, and I would say post the threshold of moving into the year 2000, as we stepped into the 21st century, we were all like thinking about like, all right, now we're going to think more about how we can be more interconnected. And this is when this whole boom of technology became. And how are we going to do this? Well, I say that we all breathe the same air no matter where we're located in the world. Children still cry. We all have tears. People laugh the same, right? So we're just human. We're part of this human connection. And in speaking to that, there was a survivor from the Holocaust that was asked if they hated Germans. He was taken as a prisoner. And he said, no, there's just two kinds of people. The race isn't the matter for him, or country or people. It's about there's decent people and there's indecent people. So I like to think of myself as a decent person and a person who can really bring value to my own life, to those that I serve, and to attune and train myself to the greater whole. And the greater whole, we can all affect each other's life when we tap into this certain frequency. So let's do that. And we're going to sit down or actually you just stay here and I'll sit here and then I'll move my camera because it's just charging right now. So let's begin to attune and close our eyes, settle down. Really find yourself completely at one with yourself, bringing yourself here today. And I offer gratitude for sharing this time space with you from 6 until 6:45. So just watch your breath flow in and out. With our eyes open, we tend to lower our frequency, right? And then when we close them, we become less reactive. Keeping the eyes closed and really resting, listening to the sounds. Whatever comes in, these are like little doorways. The sound of your own self, the sound of your thoughts, the sound of just creating a moment to tap into who you really are in this moment. And that's why music can be so evocative, because it really does create a sense of a vibration that we can connect to. And I will find some beautiful music for us to tap into. See if you can settle in with that sound of spaces between the music. This is how I fight my battle. This is how I fight my battle. All sounds affect our frequency, whether we're stressed, whether we're waking, dreaming, sleeping, deep sleep, or even in the dream world. And there are places in our consciousness that we go, that our conscious goes, and we exchange information there. That's why sleep is so healing. And this becomes the fabric of our body-mind. These deeper waves, these deeper layers are the waves of the future for us. When we move into this vibrational sense of healing by moving our mind and our body together, we recalibrate ourselves. And we don't have to hold on to the old world or the old certainties that we've had. So continue your breathing. We want to coalesce the gap, tap into the central quality of who we are, from sound, from sight, from taste, from smell, from intuition, the vagus nerve connection from brain to the gut. You want to tap in. So in Sanskrit, we call this a diksha, which is the rite of initiation. It's like, how do you know exactly when you're ready to go to the next pose? Like a gateway. How do we know when we're going into a gateway, into a new evolution of something? How do we know that? How do we know we're ready? Well, this Corona time didn't ask if we were ready. We're just here. So we have to get to the next level. The important thing that came to me was that you want to see me advertise it, but how do we recalibrate our internal world so we can digest the external? That's what this is about. We're setting this beautiful foundation, this weaving of in and out and solid, earthy ground. So begin to breathe with your arms open on your inhale, like the wings of a beautiful crane opening. And then exhale, take the hands right back to the heart. How do we open up and reveal our latent potential? Opening the heart and exhaling. This is called living in the transition. Inhale, open up the heart. We open up to that which we don't know, the unexpected. We come right back in. Do 3 more. Open up the arms to the sky. Inhale, open. Wings of a bird. And exhale, come right back in. 2 more. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. Hands to the heart. We're going to spend our time in the pause today to really build up and expand the pause, whether it's between the breaths, whether it's between moving from one pose to the other. But we're going to create concentration in the middle. We're dancing between effort and surrender, between muscle energy drawing in to expansive energy, organic. Inhaling, pulling in muscle is inhale, and then exhales organic energy. So this point of transition is the pause of the breath between the top of the inhale and the bottom of your exhale. So let's come on to all fours and measure it out. I will go through my transition very slowly. You may see me walking over here. My computer should be nice and Thank you for joining once again. All righty. Let's all come onto all fours. This sets us up for our transitions between poses. So here, I'm going to turn around. I don't like the way that looks over there. So you're setting it up so that you can measure your down dog. So this would be not creating space for you. So we want to find that spaciousness for the pause, for the in-betweenness. Hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, knees slightly behind the hips. From here, just softly begin to breathe and melt. Inhale, feeling your body, just wiggle around and make circles. And move the head. And go the opposite way. A prayer to yourself for this transition between day and night. It's evening, not a bright sunshiny day. It's closing. It's between the afternoon and nighttime. Let the head move. Feel the sensual quality of your mind, your thoughts, smells maybe of dinner being prepared. What you hear. And then inhale, look up. And then exhale, come into a beautiful down dog. Micro bend your knees and just press away. Micro bending the knees. So remember, every inhale, you go to pull energetically into your body from the distal points, from the hands to the heart, from the feet to the hips. And then you're going to exhale, push from the back of the heart through the arms getting longer, and through the hips down through the legs to make you move. Stay here and just move the hips to one side and the other. Explore your body, your mind, and what's happening. And then gently inhale, come high on your right fingertips and lean to your left and step forward with your right foot to a nice low lunge. Walk the back left knee all the way back. Straddle the front right foot and just extend the heart. Stay here, elongating the breath, pulling energy, inhale. And then exhale. Nice and slow. This point of transition between breath, between the movements, going slow. Creating a beautiful internal world to digest the outside. And inhale, look up. And now exhale, very slowly come all the way back to extend that right foot forward. Toes up, straddling it, so extend the heart. And then exhale, lie the abdominal plexus slowly upon the extended right leg. Kick out through the inner heels, you're getting long. Inhale, pulling energetically into the back of the heart and the hips. And exhale, softening. Extend out through the feet and the head and the nose. 2 more. Last one. And then exhale at the heart, chest, the chin, the nose, and the eyes and forehead fall. Next inhale, rise, bringing up the head up last. And exhale, get a little bit deeper into the front right knee. Hang a little low and slide back and forth. So have this experience of the energy moving in your body, creating a sense of firmness, tapping into the base of your pelvis, your root chakra, that food, water, shelter, this earthy quality. And then gently inhale, plant the hands to the ground, pull energetic into the body. Exhale, step back to down dog. So really, this is an invitation to your sensual self in this world that we live in. Inhale, look forward, and come high on your left fingertips and step forward with your left foot. If you need to take your hand, please move it forward and pull in. Straddle that front left leg. Breathe in and just sway the hips, circling them left and right. Get a little bit deeper, opening up this hip flexor or the entry point to the four corners of the heart, from the hips and the shoulders to reach the heart. Breathing into the back of the heart. And then inhale, sit all the way back. Extend that front left leg forward, toes up. Inhale, pull energetically into the back of the heart. Exhale, belly, chest, lean down, extend out through the inner heel. Inhale, rise. Dwell in the pause. And exhale. 3 more. Slowly maintaining, sustaining that pause. Last one, exhale, softening. Inhale, raising the head up last, bend the front knee. Plant the hands to the ground. Lift up the back right knee. Claw the floor and just pause for a moment as we transition back to down dog. We're building our internal world so that we can digest what's going on in the external world. Inhale, come center, floating forward. Claw the floor. Inhale, 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 faces forward, pause. Build up your strength by weaving right hip to left hip, right rib to left rib, right shoulder to left shoulder to back right hip, right shoulder to back left hip. Inhale, look forward, pull in. Exhale, bend your knees and come on up. Releasing the breath. On your next inhale, look forward and step forward with your right foot once again for a low lunge. Pause here. Lift up the back, left inner thigh. Pausing. And drop the outer left foot down so the front hip intersects the back arch. And a nice long breath. Inhale, reverse cartwheel into warrior 2. My back is to you. I apologize. I will switch sides so you can see me. Right leg is forward. Breathing in from the feet to the hips, from the tips of the fingers to the heart and the head to the heart. Open up. And exhale, look over the front middle finger. Move down to that back left foot. And inhale, fall all the way back, which is gorgeous, goddess warrior. Transition. Breathing the breath slow. And inhale, rise super slow, both toes face me. Inhale, opening up the heart. And exhale to the sky. Inhale, reach. Spread your beautiful crane wings wide. Inhale, rising up to the sky. And exhale. And exhale, take the hands to the heart. Next, inhale, take that left leg forward and just pause, warrior two. Inhale, find the breath. Front heel intersects the back arch, but we're residing and dwelling in the pause, the unknown, the invitation, the diksha to what's next. We don't know. Staying here, just relax, breathe in. Extend through that left inner knee out and pull back the outer knee to tuck that butt cheek under. And then inhaling back, opening up. And on your nice inhale transition. So inhale, warrior two. Look over the middle finger. And then on the next inhale, come back, lean all the way down, step back into plank pose. Stay here, weaving the body. Lift up the right leg. Bend the left knee a little bit. Dropping it down, lift up the other leg and bend the supporting knee. And then exhale, down dog. Pausing, stay in this position where you're at. Just find the breath. Finding this beautiful breath that supports you. And then softly come down into a beautiful plank. Once again, lower your knees, put your chest right between your hands. Look up, point your toes, slide the tailbone down, and on your next inhale, this distance, the space between one pose and the other, shrug the shoulders up to a beautiful open cobra. Stay low and explore what it feels like for bottom ribs to touch the earth, for the tops of the feet to engage, to slide the tailbone to root into this present moment. And then extend down, let the fingertips touch the floor. Make little tents and inhale, lift up the chest. Breathe into the backs of the lungs. Every inhale, you're pulling in from the outside to the core of the heart and hips. And now inhale. Hold hands with yourself, lift up the chest. Elongate the back of the neck. Stay in the fold into this gap. Where are we going next? Last breath. And then exhale, plant the hands right next to the chest. Tuck the toes. Lift up the kneecaps. Shrug the shoulders up, forward, and flat on the back. And lift up into a plank pose. And then exhale down. You're weary from inhale, step forward with your left foot and just pause right here. Tapping into this beautiful grounding, focusing, centering place. And walk your fingertips over to the right. And you're going to do a down dog lunge. Press down, pull that outer left hip back, back thigh high. And then inhale slowly, come back to center. Plant the right fingertips in front and gently drag the left knee thigh forward and twist that right low belly to the left. If you wish, you can lift up the left arm. And then inhale, pivot, come all the way around into Prasarita, extend the heart, exhale, bow. Taking the moment to really get full in the pause, bend one knee, and then bend the other. Find the fullness. And then gently walk yourself over to the right side. Lunge. You're going to use your hands to do that. Like a down dog lunge, press away. Find the breath slowly in. Drag your energy to the back of the body and then exhale, press away. Get longer. Inhale into the transition, nice and slow, no rush. You're going to keep the left fingertips into the floor and begin to pivot the left low belly to the right. Extend the right arm to the sky. And inhale, come center, Prasarita Padmasana. Look ahead. Exhale, soften. Bend the knees a little bit. Interlace your hands in the small of your back. Maybe the less dominant hand goes on top. Shrug that shoulder on the back first, and then the other one. And lift the knuckles to the sky. Try not to lock out the elbows. Keep a micro bend in them, please. And then very gently, slowly laying hands down the legs, straighten the legs. Fingertips to the ground, extend the spine. Heel toe the feet together. Left leg behind the right. And come to sit down into a beautiful pose. I'm going to remove my mat. Here you can see a little bit better. Take that right leg in front. Plant both feet down with the heart. So just here could be a very beautiful opening to live in the threshold, the in-betweenness, the not knowing, like how do we know what's right for us next? So many people are speaking about that they don't know what to be doing next. Do they want to have their same job? Do they want to do the same thing? So this is a time to really devote to yourself, because wherever you go, there you are. So why not be the most sensitive, sensual being in tune with yourself and attuning? So lift up that flash of that shin, lift it all the way up. And just passively just drop that right outer hip down, lift up the heart and the head. Drop the left ear to the left side. Say yes, left ear and left shoulder. So we're not just being unconscious, we're utilizing this uncomfortability to lengthen ourselves within the breath of attention. And then inhale, rise, and drop the right ear to the right shoulder, and drop the left shoulder down. Just say yes, slowly again. Remembering this big pause. This whole corona time is a big pause between an inhale and an exhale. So lengthen it, become one with it. Know, where are we going? Let's go see the latent potential here. And now softly and gently drop the head. Take that right leg forward and extend it all the way ahead of you. And move back the left foot to touch the inner right thigh. Go ahead and open up the booty cheek. Straddle the front leg open. Breathing, extending the heart and soften. Open up the heart. Extend through the inner edge of the heel. Straddling the front right leg. Soften. So as we sit upon this root chakra, we know that it's closed or not flowing energetically when we feel stuck or closed or unsure about a career, about a marriage, a relationship, about something that's not flowing. So as we lean forward, I want you to open up the pelvic floor muscles and just let them breathe in like that. There's inhaling energy from the earth up to the base of the spine. It's a time also, root chakra time is when we feel worried about money and the flow of it. And many people are feeling that now too. Soften and release. Walk the fingertips a little bit more forward. We want to establish this place of this internal world so that we're solid. Releasing any weight or body issues that we have, a self-image, and let it all just go. If you could do something about it, or just accept it as it is and flow. No time to feel unworthy. This is a time to really pull it together. Take the left hand over the right outer edge and press the right fingertips to the ground and twist left low belly to the right. Really root the extended right leg down and contract the kneecap up with the thigh muscles. You can wave your feet hello, your toes, and twist and soften. His love is like the mighty ocean. And then inhale slowly, inhale, come all the way up. And extend that left leg and take the right leg underneath. And crisscross here. Lift up the knees, flex knee. Open up the heart. So much happens out there. Strength is inside. It's not exercise, not exo or ectoplasmic or ecto anything. It's internal, it's intrasize, inner size, intra-me, intrapersonal, in me. Nobody has for me what I have for me, or no one has for you what you have for you. To develop and evolve through these hard, boundaries times of Corona time or any other time. How do we find the freedom in the boundary? Even having our legs crossed, we're to bound up a little bit. How do we breathe and find breath as this belly is up against that front thigh? Hold up and lift the left arm up to the sky. Give a little twist this time. Lean all the way back. Keep the right elbow in flat. Kind of iron the flesh forward. Just think that. I will not be afraid. Every inhale we pull energetically into the heart and the hips. And every exhale we release. And then inhale, unfurl yourself. And extend that left leg forward. And take the right foot right inside the flesh of the left thigh. Straddle the front left leg and extend the heart. And then exhale, let the whole abdominal plexus lay softly upon the extended left leg. Inhale, rise up the heart. And exhale, soften. When we get a strong root chakra, this base part, this foundation, we make our internal world so strong, we digest the outside. We feel like we can actually feel the self-love for ourselves. We feel strong. We feel like we could do it. You love your work, you love yourself, you're happy with your family, you're rewarded in your being, and you feel very good at what you do. You have really good self-image. And just because this corona time doesn't mean that things aren't going to be good. It's the time to get strong. Take the right hand to the outside of the left leg and extend and move the right low belly to the left. See yourself as having all that you need, more than enough. See yourself feeling free when you make a purchase or make a decision that you feel good about. And bow down. When you feel cared by family and friends, that's how you know you're in a good place. And then inhale, come right back to center, nice and slow, fingertips behind you. Open up the feet in what we call omega pose. Looks like the sign, the letter omega in Greek. Make it a little back. So hold on to the ankles, lift up the heart. Breathe in from the pelvic floor up to the hips and the heart. The head, breathe in from the heavens into the third eye and drop it into the heart. So everything is coming in like a five-pointed star right here to this Sushumna Nadi, this main center, and soften. Get strong and hold the toes if you wish, and bow your head down. Breathe into the backs of the lungs, slowly elongating the pause between the inhale and exhale, and from the exhale to the next inhale. And then inhale, come all the way up. One heel into the other. If you'd like to do a supine twist, feel free. So you can keep your feet on the ground, knees bent, elbows here. Just come here, this could be step one. Just move the knees around. You can open the knees wide. You can separate the feet as wide as you might. Just drop the knees to one side and lie all the way down, nice and slow. Cactus arms. So stay here. This is step one. Step two is you could take a heel and root down and move that one of the knees down with the weight of your heel and breathe. Slowing the breath down. Focusing and landing on the space between the breath. As we transition from this side to the next, so inhale, super slow, dwell, get strong in the in-betweenness and move over to the other side. Keeping feet as wide as the mat. And then you may take the opposite heel to the outer knee. And then inhale, come all the way up. And separate the feet, please. Extend the legs down. Let the feet and heels be a little bit wider than hip distance. You can move the arms 45 degrees from the body, so no part of your arm touches the side body. And move your head from side by side. You are the diksha, the space between then and what's coming. This is the point of not exactly knowing, but being ready for the next gateway. We're in the gateway pose of what's next. Trusting that you're strengthening yourself. to be ready, that you are ready right now. If the head get heavy, bringing your mind's eye to your root chakra, to the pelvic floor. Finding that resonance between your inhale, your pause, your exhale, your pause. Notice what the earth feels like beneath you, behind you, supporting you. Awaken to the senses of touch, of hearing, of caring, tasting, of sensing, of intuiting, of seeing inside and outside. Developing your palate for your internal world, to taste it, to make that dish so much more flavorful that nothing can take it away. So when the external world is here, we're so full with who we are that we can digest that too. Our fire of digestion is alive and well when we are connected to all the parts of ourselves. And then gently slide the heels in towards the chest, holding on, a nice little rock and roll. And then lovingly roll on your right side. Take 3 breaths in the top left nostril. And extend the top left leg over and come on up to sit. Crisscross. Taking the hands to the heart. Find that inner digestion, that inner world so strong every which way that we possibly can approach it from, and just weave it together so it's tight. It's really a strong web. We can take on anything. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat, Shalom, Shanti, peace. And may we all come out of this Corona, Passover, time of bondage and find liberation and deep gratitude and appreciation for all the first responders, second responders, third responders, people, everybody that helps build up our humanity. From decent people to not decent people. I know you're all decent, loving people, and together we'll make the world a little bit tighter. Namaste. Thank you.